Welcome back, student, and let us continue with our video 1, part 2 of lesson number 9. In the last part 1, we studied about the 3-age method which was been invented or discovered by Christian Thomson, where we saw how the Stone Age, Copper Age and the Iron Age were been divided. In next part, that is in part 9.2, that is our part 2, we are going to study about pots made on the potter's wheel. So let us understand more in detail about how potter's wheel came into main use and who invented this potter's wheel. Now, the Copper Age was the age of many new inventions and many new rapid changes took place. Rapid means fast. The invention of the wheel is the most important among them. Now, the invention of the wheel is, if you go to see in the past history, invention of the wheel, the credit goes to, credit means the real name of inventing the wheel goes to the Middle Stone Age period. During the Middle Stone Age period, during the Mesopotamian civilization, the Old Stone Age and the Middle Stone Age, the mid of it. So the Mesopotamian or the Mesopotamia civilization, these were the people who are credited with the invention of wheel around 3500 BC. Okay. Now, it is generally agreed that the wheel was first used by potters. Now, who are potters over here? Now, potters are of two types. One, potter means the person who carries luggage or load on his head or back. Normally, when you go to bus stand or railway station, you will have a potter over there, जिसको हम कूली करके बोलते हैं. He is also a potter, and the second potter over here is regarding the person who makes pots with help of mud, various types of various shapes of pots or vessels, what we call mud vessels. He is also called as a potter. So there are two meanings of potter. So the first, if you remember, during the Old Stone Age, when man used to hunt or man used to move from one place to another, when he used to hunt huge animals or when he used to carry load, he used to carry it on his back. But then he realized and he learned from his daily experience that the log of wood, a huge log of wood, when it came rolling down, he understood that if this thing can roll down, so on this rolling scheme, if he keeps a plain plank, a wooden plank, and he kept that load or that heavy thing on that log of wood, and it kept on rolling down. So he got the idea of making it into a wheel, and the log was then converted into a wooden wheel. So this is how the wheel was invented by the Mesopotamian in around 3500 BC. Now, because of this invention of wheel, a new invention took place. And what was that invention? It was then later called as the potter's wheel. Now, let us understand. As you can see on your screen, you can see various types of wheels which are there. Wooden wheel is there, iron wheel is there, wheel which is made with wooden and rubber coating is there, wheel which is made with wooden and iron is around. Okay, so there are various cycle wheels are there, horse carriage wheels are there, bullock cart wheels are there. So these are different wheels which keeps in moving, in motion. Okay, and the second picture is the picture about the potter, the person who is making a pot vessel out of the mud using the potter's wheel. So let us understand this. How does the potter's wheel? Well, now the wheels which were being used before, it was started with making the use of wheel, as I said, for traveling. Okay, that is, the first wheel was used in cars and chariots, that is the chariots, horse chariot and the bullock cart. So probably it began in transportation and traveling. Okay, the wheels were later, what happened? Wheels were invented for special purpose. So let us understand the history of potter's wheel. Now this is the old potter's wheel which you can see on your screen. Then this is how the potters used to make use of the wheel. In one side you can see a potter. He is rotating the wheel, the bottom part, with his leg, and the upper part, it keeps on rotating, has a bottom wheel rotate just like a top. Okay, bhaura jisko aap kehte ho. And just as the top rotate, it keeps on rotating, and with the help of the clay, he gives shape to the vessel with his hand. On the other side, you can see Again a man, he's rotating the wheel with his hand, and with one hand is shaping the a pot. He's giving a shape to the clay to turn into a pot. Okay, so pots of various size and various designs who have been made. Then you can even see a thing like which we call it as an oven. In English we call it as an oven. Okay, or bhatti, what we call in Hindi or Marathi, jisko bhatti kehte hain. So this clay pots which were there, which were been dried, and then later on they were been put in this oven where there is fire. So with that fire they used to get baked properly, turn hard, and then they were been colored, red color, white color, different colors, and different articles or different materials were been used to make it look more pretty. So let us understand. Now how does this all happen? To make it easy to turn the pot while shaping it, a rotating plank was probably used first. Okay, now the pots were shaped with one hand while the other hand was to turn the plank, as you can see in the picture. Similarly, it is possible that the potter's wheel originated in the efforts to modify the rotating plank, because it was difficult to rotate the wheel with one hand and then to shape the plot. So later on, with some invention and with some studies, new techniques and new things have been added to it. Today also in some recent time, there are many people who are still using this old method of potter's wheel. Still recent time, tribal people, that is women who are living in villages, tribal villages, local areas in the northern eastern region of our country in India. If you go to Gujarat, if you go to Rajasthan, still you will find people who are making this pots. Okay, they shape the pots by using the rotating plank, as you can see on your screen on the picture. Now, what is used for it? How does it work? So let us understand how does this rotating wheel or the plank work. Okay, when the potter's wheel is put in motion, it is balanced on the pivot and revolves with a great speed. Now, what is a pivot? A pivot, as you can see the red marking over there, a pointed cord pebble fixed at the bottom of the potter's wheel. This pebble is known as a pivot. Okay, so the pivot which is there, the wheel rotates properly on that pivot, just as you play with the top, and the top keeps on rotating on a pot. So this is how the potter will work. Now, what does the potter use to make the pots? So there is a clay mud which you can see in your picture. He adds some water to this clay, the mud, makes it soft, then takes that mud, place it on the wheel. He rotates the wheel either with the hand or he uses a stick to rotate the wheel, shapes it with his hand, and then he makes pots of various shapes, various size and various design. Later, after these pots are properly baked, they are dried up, they color it or they make different designs on the pots, and then these pots are made available in the market for sale. So this is the story how the pots have been made by the potter, right? As you can see the other pictures also, how the potters give a shape. The hands play a very important role in giving shape to the mud. Okay, that is the reason it is said also that children are like soft clay, soft mud. The way we mold or way we give them the shape, they are generally going to take a turn, or they are going to grow with those values, and they are going to grow with all those important values in their life. Okay, so this is how the potter uses his skill. Now in the Egyptian side also, the Egyptian worker, you can see he rotates the with his leg, with one leg, and on the top you can see as the pivot moves, one hand is rotating the wooden plank and with the other hand is shaping the plots. I hope you are clear with this. Yes, moving ahead, the next part what we have. Now, once the potter begins to use a wheel and once he starts making pots, slowly he starts making more and more pots. So it becomes possible for the potter at one stage, one by one, starts making pots in large numbers, right? Now what happened because of this? Now because of this, the potters, as they got a chance to prepare pots, now there were other skilled craftsmen also who were staying in that village. Now what is a village? So as you can see in the first picture, a village settlement, a place where people with different skills, different craftsmen with different ideas, they came together, they started staying together, and that is how village settlement was started. This you must have learned in our last lesson, right? Now, so the potter over here, he started making pots. Then there were other craftsmen in the villages who used to paint the pots, or used to make designs on the pots, or they used to make some other material, toys and all. So slowly this gave rise to village settlement also, and also this gave rise to the management of the work. And so making pots and giving it a new color, new and designing it, this became an art. With this, it became easy to start their own business. Business means we can see that the trading business started. That is, it came to a way of industrial area where in the olden time barter system was more in use. If you want to buy one article, you have to sell or you have to give another. That was called exchange of goods for one another. That was barter system. So that system was privileging in the Stone Age, that is the Middle Stone Age period also. So this industrial area started growing. Villages got a new, food grains were grown, fruits were grown, cattle were there. But this also became a new industrial purpose where potters used to make pots and sell in the market. So various craftsmen, skills craftsmen, artisans, they also got opportunity to show their skills, and this became the center of production. Then what happened slowly as the village settlement started, the villagers from one village, they started traveling to another village. That is either to sell their goods or to bring the raw material from the other village. So mainly those village settlements where raw material was easily available. Raw material means, for example, to prepare the pots, clay was needed. Suppose to prepare the sweaters and all, wool was needed. Okay, suppose to prepare some handicraft, some other material. So raw materials which were available in some other villages, so the material has to be transported from one village to another village. So traveling also started, and it became more convenient to trade with one to other villages. Then such village settlement started expanding rapidly. Started expanding means started growing more and more. Rapidly means in a fast manner. As you can see in the picture, the village settlement, you can even see the man as he's traveling with his horse, carrying his articles or materials from one village to another village. The second picture which shows where food grains, farmers are there, they are growing crops on the field. On the other side, you can see some villages doing some other work. So this is how the village settlement started growing rapidly. Then therefore, because of the need, there was a need to change the old system of transport, and to change, that is, traveling was very difficult because they had to walk miles and miles. So to change this old system of transport, man understood and he learned that the wheel which was there, that can also be used in a different way. Now, what was that way? So the wheel got connected with the horse, or it got connected with the bullock, and so this is how bullock cart and the chariots were brought into use. So the loads or people were being placed in the bullock carts or on the carrots, and they were transported from one place to another. We saved the time, the energy of the people. So this is how wheel was invented, and this is how the production of goods also increased. Trade started expanding, and slowly the old system of transportation, that is walking and carrying the loads on the back of the animals, changed, and that wheeled vehicles like cars and carrots or chariots were being first brought to use. I hope, my dear children, you are clear with this topic. With this, we come to the end of our video 1, part 1 and part 2. Please read the textbook, page number 39 and 40, that is 9.1, 9.2 and 9.3. And the next part of the lesson will be continued in the next week. Thank you and take care.